And our next story is about the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He is hobbled by the ICC's arrest warrant against him. Netanyahu, of course, has rejected the ICC warrant, describing the move as anti-Semitic. And Netanyahu is not alone, by the way. ICC has issued arrest warrant against former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and the Hamas military commander Mohammed Deif. While Israel does not recognize the authority of the ICC and Netanyahu and Gallant will not turn themselves in, their world has just got a lot smaller. Let's break this down for you. The Rome Statute, the treaty that established the ICC, includes 124 countries across 6 continents. Under the statute, countries that are part of the ICC are legally bound to enforce its arrest warrants, which basically means that Netanyahu cannot travel to countries that recognize the ICC. Just have a look at this map on your screen now. The ones that are marked where Netanyahu could be arrested after the ICC's decision. There are 33 countries in Africa that recognize the criminal court in Hague. 20 countries in Asia Pacific are party to the Rome Statute. 42 countries from Europe are part of the treaty. 29 countries in Americas recognize the ICC. So as you can tell, US, Russia, China, India have not ratified the Rome Statute. But will the countries that do recognize the ICC enforce the arrest warrants is the question. Should Netanyahu travel there? There are signs they will. Let's start off with Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Canada would abide by the rulings of international courts. He said, and I'm quoting here, it's really important that everyone abide by international law. Next, the UK. The spokesperson for the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, said that Britain respects the independence of the ICC, but it did not confirm whether Britain would uphold the warrants. Next, South Africa. In a statement, the South African government welcomed the ICC decision and said that it marked a significant step towards justice for crimes against humanity and war crimes in Palestine. Remember, last year, South Africa took Israel to the International Court of Justice for committing, quote-unquote, genocide against Palestinians. The case is ongoing. Next up, France. In response to the ICC's arrest warrant, the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the government would act in line with the ICC statutes, but declined to say whether France would arrest Netanyahu if he came to the country, saying that it was legally complex. Germany, for that matter, said it will carefully examine the ICC's arrest warrants but will not take further steps until a visit to the country. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell said that the ICC warrants were not political and should be respected and implemented. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that he respects the work and independence of the ICC. Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur on Palestine, called it a rare moment of euphoria. Now, how did Israel's primary backer, the United States, react? To put it simply, with anger. In a statement, US President Joe Biden called the ICC arrest warrants against the Israeli leaders outrageous. He said, and I'm quoting here, "Let me be clear once again, whatever the ICC might imply, there is no equivalence, none, between Israel and Hamas. We will always stand with Israel against threats to its security," quote unquote. The White House also expressed concern over the ICC prosecutors' alleged rush to seek arrest warrants and the troubling process errors that led to this decision, quote unquote. But US Senator Bernie Sanders supported the warrants, saying, and I'm quoting here, "All launched indiscriminate attacks against civilians and caused unimaginable human suffering. If the world does not uphold international law, we will descend into further barbarism," quote unquote. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.